it without tons of help. You gotta buy all these exercise tapes. You gotta read about nutrition. You gotta get a personal trainer having you fucking running along. You need like your own chef, and he's like, okay, don't eat it yet. Don't eat it yet. All right, now, eat it. Start consuming it. All right, stop. Slow down. Stop. Stop. Spit it out. Spit it out. I told you to stop. Get on the elliptical. Now you like that Brussels sprout? Did you like that Brussels sprout? Because now you're paying for it. It's a fucking miserable experience. Just walking around, your whole body's eating yourself. You know, you want some cake? No. No, I'll just take a salad. Balsamic vinaigrette on the side. No croutons. Oh my God. When is the photo shoot? I want to kill myself. It's horrible. You ever try to get fat? No. You don't have to. It's effortless. You can fucking lay on your back, watching your favorite show, just shoveling shit down your throat. What are you doing? I'm getting fat. I'm getting fat. You got a trainer? Don't need one. It's natural. I just eat everything that makes my sugar salt go like, yeah, woo, yeah. Comes right in. Nice roll of fucking flab. No, that's another one. No means no. It's like, no, it doesn't. All right? Look, no means no. No, that means no. All right, but no, stop it. What are you doing? Oh my God. You're being so bad. Stop it. No. Yeah, that's not a fucking no. That means I want to do it, but I'm afraid you're going to judge me, so I'm just going to make it look like it was your idea so you don't figure out that I've already performed this act with 40 other fucking people. Right? But then you go to court and you get a bad read and there's some guy reading it. Your Honor, she said no. Stop it. What are you doing? You're being so bad. Yeah, and you're just sitting there like, she didn't fucking say it like that. She didn't say it like that.
I've been battling with my girlfriend a lot lately. She loves to watch the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I love to watch her watch the Oprah Show. And then I wait for Oprah to say something that I don't agree with, and then I take it out on my girlfriend, because I'm a jerk. So, Oprah brings out her first guest, right? She gives her this huge intro. She's written a book, she's been in a movie, and she does the most difficult job on the planet. She's a mother. So immediately I look at my girlfriend, I'm like, really? Being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet? How many moms died on ice road truckers last season? You know, any moms get washed overboard on Deadliest Catch? No, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but which job would you rather have? You want to scoop crabs up off the bottom of the ocean, hanging off some rusty tugboat, catching that trap to the back of your head every couple of weeks? Or you want to hang out in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You know, you can send them to bed anytime you want on some trumped up charges. Yeah. Trumped up charges, yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July is a redhead. You know? I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. How do they do it? Oh, the way they push that stroller with the round wheels. Yeah, and the baby in there. It's the most difficult job on the planet. Going to war pinned down by a sniper. What a joke. It's a joke. You ever burp a baby and forget to put that towel up there? Oh, there's another shirt you gotta wash, right? Oh yeah, lift with your knees and put it in that machine that does it for you. People, any job you can do in your pajamas is not difficult. Sure, it's draining, but come on, man. Being a stay-at-home mom, that's like my dream job. No boss, no time card, no taxes. You're off the grid. Hanging out all day, making grilled cheese sandwiches. giving a puppet show, you dress like a dragon. Then some other adult comes home and gives you money. Yeah.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know. A lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know. I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi, you think you're being healthy, you're eating your old rollerblades.
I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 in the morning on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, when you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's what, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking that is completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watch the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die. And I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like, God damn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, you know? God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. There's so much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, I actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking, it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work, it comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, you know, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, you know? Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak. Right, I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? Time to man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck.
Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they gonna do with the dog? They're gonna take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, you know? Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I gotta work on my temper though. Something I really gotta do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, you know? I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. You know, when you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, you know? So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're gonna take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof. You don't gotta hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. We could still trip her. Just throwing that out.
I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know? More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Oh, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And he goes, hey, you know, I'm actually thinking it's kind of pretty high. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair, redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, honestly, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that they do? That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400,000 a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400,000 a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned and saying, I need your help to get me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is?
I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. Let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know what I mean? Isn't anybody looking at the stats? You know what I mean? 3 out of 4 marriages go right down the shitter, right? If you were going skydiving and they told you 3 out of 4 parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that, I'm not going. Like, I don't like those odds. I have a 75% chance of splatting on the ground. But there's something about getting married. People just have to do it, right? They're just like, is this the line to lose half my shit? Awesome. This is gonna be great. No, I'm just kidding. I love women. I'm just not compatible with them. No, they got too much energy for me. You notice I said they always have to be doing something. You know, like they can't like take a day off, you know? You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $52 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs, you know, like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. I was dating this girl recently. She was like really into like women's issues, you know? Because women always go on TV, you know, they say all they want is to be treated exactly like guys. But if you listen to them, they don't. All they want is the good shit of being a guy. They're cherry picking. They look at a guy's life like it's like a buffet, right? Like you just can start picking out stuff like same amount an hour, we'll take some of that. Pay for the movie, fuck that. You can keep that one. I don't like that one. This is nice, that's yucky, that's icky. Hey, come on, people, you can't choose. This girl gives me shit. She goes, well, why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. That's why I get the $1 more an hour. No, it's a $1 an hour surcharge. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out. Like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? You think I want to stay in the vault? Those 20 other sweaty guys sharing a bag of peanuts, you know? Praying to God I'm not the hostage who gets dragged out by the psycho with a gun to my head as he's asking the cops for a helicopter. Which I know he's not going to get, right? I know he's not getting the helicopter. So now I got to make idle conversation with the 38 to my head going, dude, go for a rent-a-car. I think you should go for the rent-a-car. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. No, that's why I hated that movie, the Titanic. Every girl I meet thinks that movie's romantic. It's irritating. I think, that was really romantic, don't you think? It's like, no! It's a fucking horror film. And they're always like, why? I'm like, because all the guys die. See, you're watching it trying to relate, going, who would I be? You'd be that chick floating away in the big piece of luggage, right? I'm watching it going, who would I be? I'd be that dude when, like, the boat breaks in half, that dude who, like, falls straight down and bangs off the shit and goes in the water. That's who I'd be. I'd be wearing a tuxedo, not because I wanted to, but you wanted to dress up that night, right? I'd be falling the whole way down going, I should have fucked that chick in first class. All right, listen, I'm out of time. You guys had a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.
Long story short, Hugh Jackman plays the part of Gary Hart, and he was amazing. And I had a really fun scene where we were tailing him, we were chasing him down this alley, and he's like the nicest guy ever, but he's a big guy. He's like 6'4", and he's ripped. And we went down the alley, and his character's mad at our character, and he just turned around and looked at us. And for half a second, I was like, oh, that's Wolverine. And I legit got scared. And he's a big guy, you know? So what's funny in this scene is as a reporter, I have like a notebook, and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival, and all these actors are coming up to me. I love the choice you made. I love the choice you made to drop the notebook. I go, no, dude, that was real. I was like, hard day at work, and that's all they need. So basically what happened was a lot of empty seats where I was up because StubHub was gouging people so bad, people just stayed home. So there was all these empty seats behind us.
Really?
So my buddy was taking his beer, empty beer cans, was sticking them there. And this guy, I don't know, he had a problem with it. And rather than just being, hey, do you mind, my wife and kid got to get by, can you just blah, 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 he just immediately went to, hey, was there something wrong with the bottom of your chair? And then it escalated, and then I pulled the ladies line, which usually diffuses it. I was like, ladies, come on, what are we doing? We're at the game here, right? And I go to shake his hand, he doesn't shake my hand like an So now, all my Boston anger comes up, and I'm just talking loudly about West Coast fans, forgetting that I'm a bald 50-year-old man that's going to get thrown off the upper deck. And finally, after an inning and a half, I'm at the World Series, and I'm mad at this idiot behind me. What do I care? Okay, what do I care about this guy? You know, he's not going to hurt us. There's four of us. You know, he was like 80 pounds overweight, so what's he going to fall on us? Like, that's the best thing he's going to do. So I went down to get a beer. When I came back, he was mean-mugging me the whole way up.
Oh, really?
He's with his wife and kid. He's sitting there, you know, looking like he just got out of Denny's, and he's looking at me like he's going to do something. So my eyes are starting to go, but I refuse to get glasses. So I'm sitting there, like, as I'm walking up, I'm like, is this guy looking at me? So, you know, when you have old eyes, you got to look away and then look back to make sure, right? So I did that. Now he thinks I'm soft. Like, oh, I got him. He blinked, right? So something happened on the walk up to him. I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I was just like, dude, come on, man. I got to respect the Dodgers. I love you guys. I'm sorry you put that thing. Can we just crush, squash this, right? So I go to do the fist bump, and he's so immature, like emotionally, that when he went to do the fist bump, he didn't even move his hand up. He just had it in his lap, and he just kind of went like this. You know, you're like when a toddler goes to wave for the first time, they don't lift their arm up, they just imitate you like that. Like, he did that, and I did the fist bump, and then we were fine. So I think I figured something out.
What?
Because there's an overlap with Irish guys and Mexican dudes as far as, like, a disconnect. Like, you have, like, this anger, and, like, I think, like, when you meet a 40-year-old Mexican dude, you got to do the math. That's like meeting a 60-year-old Irish guy in therapy years. Like, they're even more hardcore. Dude, they'll literally stand there, face 10 people with flamethrowers and not even flinch. Be like, what? I'm not backing down. So you have to give them, you got to give them the out. So I gave him the out, and then I squashed it. And then even my buddy, the English Boston guy next to me, afterwards, he walked out. He was just like, dude, how did you do that? How did you do that? It's just like, well, you know, I've been married for 5 years, losing fights all the time. So I've just learned.
Christina, congratulations on the baby. You just had the baby, right?
Yeah, little Friday morning.
Friday morning.
I did. My wife did. I didn't do anything. I felt unbelievably useless. I was in total panic mode. When I dropped her off at the emergency room, she goes, all right, you got to go park the car down in the spot. And I swear to God, I was in such fight or flight. I was driving down there. This voice in my head just said, just keep going. Just keep going. Just drive away. Which, of course I wouldn't, but I started laughing. Isn't there like a Bruce Springsteen song about that? Going out to get cigarettes, and there's something hilarious about people abandoning their family. Where, like, I just can't imagine, like, the hell that you would be in to do that move. But just knowing you were going to do it, like, the level of excitement that you would have before, like, okay, I'm going to go get some cigarettes. And I'm never going to see you people again, your mother-in-law. All of this stuff is over. I'm a loner, man. I don't like people. So...
Yeah, you're not lying.
I don't.
Yeah, I know.
This Fifth Avenue during Christmas time,
You
the
can't stand
thoughts
it.
that go through my head. The thoughts that go through my head. I just want to chop that tree down and watch it land on people as I walk over their head.
No!
I do.
That was the
Sorry.
holiday season.
I know.
No.
I knew I wasn't going to stick to that.
I know,
I was
I
trying
don't
to
know
be
why I used
happy.
this.
I was
Yeah,
trying to be happy. I was trying. We tried.
We tried. It was
Oh,
nothing
you
to-
played drums. Oh,
Yeah,
that was
we-
fun, wasn't
yeah,
it? It went
yeah.
right in the tank.
Yeah.
Right in the tank. I got to trash people or it doesn't work.
Doesn't.
Human beings have empathy. Some woman will fall in love. Well, he's nice. He wears a sweater. He likes to bake. You know, he lets me finish my stories. Which is all great qualities. Okay? But you gotta know, when you shack up with a guy like that, you're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice that fucking axe murderer is gonna pick the next house over. Because God forbid he picks your goddamn house. This is the dude who has your back, who's gonna be screaming louder and higher than you when this guy comes through the fucking door. And you're gonna turn around and all you're gonna see is his cowardly feet going out the kitchen window. I don't know, man, that's risky. You know, reality, I'm being too hard on that guy, you know? Yeah, I am, because I was just as scared as he was. Except I didn't scream out like he did. And that's simple. The simple reason was this dude, he was hugged too much as a child. Having people go, how was your day? What's wrong? And all of that shit, you know? That's why I came down here, man, I'm telling you. I came out here to tell you guys, you gotta stop hugging your children. You know? You are ruining this country. Now, you can hug your daughters. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. Hug those hooker shoes right out of them. Let them know that you're a good man and to find another man like you. You gotta do that. But your son, you can hug him a little bit, but every 3-4, you gotta fucking knock him down, right? Come on, it didn't hurt. Get up. Look, I didn't come from a family. I don't know about you guys. I didn't come from a touchy-feely. Call me when you get there. None of that shit. First time my mom hugged me, I think it was like once when I was little and then when I moved out. That was it. And we only hugged because we knew we were supposed to. So we just tried to it was like 2 parking meters came to life. Like, we almost bumped heads. It was horrific. Fucking horrific. You know, to this day, sometimes I drive down the street and I think about that hug, and it's just it's so awful, I have to shout the memory out of my head. I'll just be driving down the street, just be like, ah! Ah! Anybody else like that? You ever have to shout stuff out of your head? There's something about me, all my regret comes up when I'm in the shower. I don't know what it is. I think because I'm in the shower and I have time to think. And I'll just think of shit I did in 3rd grade, where I just made an ass of myself, and I just will be in the shower just being like, ah! Ah! And my wife's always just like, is everything okay in there? And I'll just be like, yeah, just accidentally turn on the hot water. Turn it on too much. Every day? So, yeah. I actually asked my mother one time when I finally got out in the world and I saw how other families interacted. I finally asked her one day, I was like, how come we never did the hugging thing? You know what I mean? How come we didn't do that stuff? She's like, well, I wanted to hug you kids when you were little, but I was afraid it was going to make you gay. And I was like, you were afraid? You were afraid? And then she goes, well, it was your father. That's what it was. Protecting him like I always do. He was afraid. He said, you don't know how to raise boys. And if you hug them, that's what's going to happen. So in a marriage, there's compromises. So. Yeah. So she basically never hugged us because my dad said if she did, it was going to make us gay. And I got to tell you, that was a great thing that my dad did for me. Let me finish before you start blogging, okay? And I end up on a split screen on Good Morning Atlanta, you know?
Comedy, can it go too far? Last night was a tabernacle. Sitting there next to some fucking Cheeto-eating blogger. So, yeah, this is the deal. I'm going to defend my dad here because this is basically what happens when you have a kid. As far as I know, I don't have any kids, but as far as I would think, if you have a fucking kid, what do you want to do? You want to improve on your childhood, okay? You want to keep the shit that your parents did that worked, and then you want to get rid of the stuff that didn't work. So that was my dad, as fucked up as that was his improvement on his childhood that he never talks about, the way a veteran doesn't talk about going to war, you know? So I figure if that was his improvement on his childhood just must have been something like, don't change his shitty diaper. Let him figure it out for himself. Get out in the rain, you shitty baby. Hey, let me handle this, lady. Why are you still standing here, you shit toddler? So, he took it from that and knocked it down to, don't hug him, it's gonna make him gay, right? And then maybe someday I have a kid, I'll whittle it down to like, hey, he's not taking drama class, all right? He's not taking drama class because I said so, lady! Let me handle it! I won't fix everything. Yeah, and that's not a homophobic thing either, that I wouldn't send my hypothetical son to drama class, okay? It isn't. I'd let my hypothetical daughter take a drama class, okay? My son can't fucking do any of that shit unless I'm sending him to one of those fame high schools, you know, where everybody's doing it. One of those creative schools. You go to the cafeteria, everybody's like, cottage cheese, what is it made of? Right? Like, then he can do all he wants. And he can do all the fuck he wants. But there's no way I'm letting him do that at a public school with those goddamn animals. He's gonna get the shit kicked out of him. He's gonna come home with his underwear up his ass, and then I have to be the adult and go down to the principal and be like, oh, there's some sort of tomfoolery going on around here. I don't want to do that. I want to find the fucking 8-year-old. What is he, this tall? I want to find the kid that did it to my kid, tip him upside down into some sand or a puddle, anywhere where oxygen is going to be an issue, right? And just leave him there. Right? And you wait till that one leg just starts shaking so you know he's down to his last breath. And then you turn him upside down, you're upside right, you grab him by his throat, and you just say something horrific. You ever do that again, I'm going to beat your mother to death with the family dog. Right? Over. So, yeah, a lot in my life has changed since I last came through here to Atlanta. Yeah, I got married. That's the big thing. Yes, I did. Very happy about that. I'm very happy with that because it was starting to get weird, you know? It's like 45 years old. Oh, my girlfriend. Yeah, we're going to go out and get some pop, you know? Going to parties, it was just weird. Because I hang out with people my age, you know, and they all got married, they all had kids, and I just couldn't contribute when people were standing around talking about marriages and kids, you know? I felt like a little kid. They're sitting there going like, oh, the superintendent of the mayoral candidate will be bi-coastal, bipartisan with the Middle Eastern crisis. And it just... Oh, I just noticed this thing came off. We can't have this. There's got to be continuity between the fucking shows here. Oh, Jesus Christ. This thing never comes off. It's right when you tape a fucking special, then everything just falls apart. Royal Albert Hall, huh? Where did you buy this mic stand, huh? Where the fuck did you get this? You know the mic stand guy's all fucking pissed off. Right, it's a jolly good fucking mic stand. I know you fucking yank. Fucking yank it, you know, so everything fucking falls off on it. Now dare you, the Queen comes down here and sits in a box and watches this show. You know what I heard about you guys? Actually, by the way, I've been over here for a week, and as an American, I gotta say something. You guys are pretty fat, too. Specifically the men. I don't know what's going on with the men, but I don't give a fuck how fat you get. You're gonna pour yourself into your skinny jeans. They still got them. It's like you're squeezing all the fat to the top like toothpaste. Right, still wearing me same jeans from primary school. I don't know. But anyways, you know what I'm afraid of? You know what I'm afraid of? Robots. Yeah. I saw one get interviewed on 60 Minutes, the top journalistic program in the United States. And he's just sitting there getting interviewed, not nervous at all, just rattling off all the fucking answers, you know? Not smoking, not fucking, leaking oil, whatever you would do as a nervous robot, right? And the reporter's asking him questions, and in the end he goes, so tell us. He's like, what are your goals? And I am alone in a hotel room, and I literally lean towards the TV. I'm like, these fucking things have goals? And the fucking robot just answers. He just goes, he goes, well, what are your goals? And the robot goes, to become smarter than human beings. Yeah. And the reporter just blows by it. He's like, okay, and what's your favorite color? Meanwhile, I'm standing on my bed yelling at the TV like, dude, unplug that fucking thing! Take the batteries out! Pull the wires out! Do something! How many sci-fi movies do you have to see before you realize where this is going? So anyways, every smart person, every super smart person in the world is saying these fucking things are gonna kill us. Even your boy here, the guy he recently died. What was his name? He was always sitting down. Hawkins, Stephen Hawkins, yeah. Too good to fucking stand up and make his point, just sitting down all fucking smarmy. Oh, I care so much. I poured ice on myself. And I showed off my abs at the same time for the gram. No, I'm just fucking with you. I'm so glad that guy's fucking dead, though. Look at you guys. You're hot. How much longer do you want him to suffer? You don't believe in an afterlife? Maybe he's up there now. His fucking legs work. He's getting an angelic blowjob. How much longer do you want him to fucking sit there so you can feel better about yourself? Well, at least I'm not all fucking twisted up saying smart shit, right? I couldn't fucking stand that guy. He was so fucking negative. He never had anything positive to say. Hey, Steve, what do you got for us today? In 2035, there'll be no more apples. Thank you, Steve. Thanks a lot. Wasn't thinking about that. Now I am. Hey, so what's the solution? It's too late. We needed to try 40 years ago. Thanks a lot, buddy. I'm gonna go cry with my child now. Dude, I could hang out with that guy for about 3 minutes before I took the brake off his chair and just zoomed him into the other room. Hey, Steve, come back in when you got something dumb and positive to say. Yeah. Well, listen, I agreed with all of these super smart people thinking that these fucking robots were gonna kill us, right? I agreed with all of that shit until a couple of years ago, I was in New York and I was looking through a newspaper, right? And I have a whole new fucking theory. But in order for me to tell you my theory, I have to quickly take you back to the deep, dark, sordid history of the blow-up doll. All right? I know there's a lot of millennials here, young people. You probably don't even know what one of these is. All right? With your fucking, I don't know what you guys do, your virtual reality glasses, fucking free porn flying by you, grabbing titties, whatever it is you're doing. All right? Back in the day, this was the deal. If you were a person and you wanted to have sex with somebody else, but like nobody else wanted to have sex with you, and you weren't strong enough to hold anybody down. I mean, this is how it was. You had to go out and you had to get a blow-up doll, and you had to fucking go out and get it. Right? You couldn't just order it off of an Amazon and some delivery guy shows up. He doesn't know what's in the box. You're standing there like Tom Hanks. Hey, how you doing? Great to see you. I'm gonna fuck that. You have no idea what it is. Now, dude, you had to go down and you had to fucking get this thing. You had to find a porno store. You had to work it out that was far enough away from your house that no one's gonna recognize your car. You drive down like 11 in the morning. Who the fuck is gonna be there then, right? You'd park in the back on like a Tuesday, just sitting there in the car, psyching yourself up like, okay, I'm not hurting anybody. It's just an urge. Just get in there, okay? Hand in the money. Just get in there and get it done. You yank your hat down. You walk in with all your courage. And then you get in there and be too many other perverts in there and you get all psyched out. So what you do is you just grab a bunch of videotapes and you walked up to the counter. And you had to make it look like it was an impulse buy, right? And you're walking up and everything, all the creepy shit was behind the counter, right? Just fucking heads and feet, just an ass, body parts, serial killer buffet. What fucking world am I entering? Oh my God, somebody's fucking a neck? Jesus Christ, right? And you set it down. Just make it look real subtle. Okay, buddy, is that gonna be all? Maybe that thing down the end with the surprised look on its face. Maybe I'd like to take a shot at that. I don't know. The guy wraps it up, and then you finally get it, you give him the money, you fucking run out to the car, you have this whole weird emotion. You're like excited and you hate yourself. Thank God I finally did it! What the fuck is wrong with me? Just drive off. You go back to your little shitty fucking apartment, and you had to blow it up quietly. So none of your neighbors heard, just like... Then you got excited, start going a little faster. And just watching this thing slowly coming to life, just like... And then you've wrapped those rubber legs around you. And God forbid you got caught. Your roommate comes walking in, he's fucking a blow-up doll! Dude, your life was over. You had like 6 minutes to get your mom on the phone, like, Mom, I love you, and you're never gonna see me again. Don't believe what people said about me. I'm so sorry. I'm going to Alaska. Oh, God. Click. That was it. You moved to Alaska. That was no one ever saw you again. And that's why to this day, if you go to Alaska, there's like 8 men for every 2 women. Yeah, because that state is littered with men who got caught fucking shit they shouldn't have been fucking. So now, fast forward to about 2016, I'm in New York City, right? And I'm looking through the newspaper, whatever, and I come across an article, and it's on this robot that for $10,000 you buy this thing, you can have sex with it, right? Now notice, 5 minutes ago, I brought up a blow-up doll. Didn't even have a joke, just said blow-up doll, and you all laughed. A blow-up doll. Who would do such a stupid thing, right? That's weird. 5 minutes later, I say a robot that you can have sex with, dead silence in here. As if collectively you're all just like, well, what does it look like?
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's gonna get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know? That league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Oh my God. That's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh my God, you're a goddess. You're gorgeous. You look great in that bikini. I would kill myself if I looked like that. Keep eating, keep eating. Lose a toe, you fat bitch. It's just... You saw an alcoholic where you'd be like, oh my God, look at you. You're face down, passed out. Your kids are crying. You're a hero. You're a god. Keep doing what you're doing. You'd be like, dude, you need to get your fucking shit together. Get off the sauce. I will tell you, that's one of the most genius things I've ever seen. How regular-looking women somehow mind-fucked advertising to get beautiful women off of billboards. Yeah, just regular fucking who-gives-a-shit-looking women, right? I'm just being honest. Come on, we're outside. We're in the woods. We can be honest. Just regular, who gives a fuck? Can't remember her name, looking women, right? Well, looking at these goddesses, and they had to fucking be, how am I supposed to compete with that? You can't! How fucking arrogant are you? I don't see Brad Pitt when he takes his shirt off in a movie and, oh, great, how am I supposed to compete with that? I can't. I am an ugly, bald, orange man. I need to write jokes. I gotta put a lampshade on my head. I know what my role is, okay? I should be on the ground gazing up at people better looking than me. I don't know, ladies. This is supposed to be like an inspirational talk. I don't know if it's coming through this way. I'm trying to say, if you really if you get through all the misdirected anger of my childhood, I'm trying to say, you're smarter than we are, and there's more of you. I don't know. Talking to the ladies, talking about body issues. They're always talking about body issues. That's the dumbest one ever. When they talk about Hollywood, going like, Hollywood, they create these impossible body images, blah, blah, blah. You know, that whole thing, the plus-size actress, right? The fatties, you know? That's like a big thing. They're sick of being treated like fat people. I don't know what it is they're doing. They're going on the cover of magazines now, just like showing how fat they are, wearing a little bit amount of clothes. And everybody's like hyping them up, like, oh my God, that's so brave. That's so courageous. I'm not saying it doesn't take balls, but that's a bit of an overreach with the word brave, right? Like, what am I supposed to do if I ever see a fireman running out of a building carrying a baby and an old lady? Am I going to sit there like, oh my God, you're like a fat actress that takes her shirt off to do a magazine shoot to promote the movie she's in? Now look, I know you're not supposed to make fun of fat people. I understand, all right? I don't know why, though. Why? They're not a race. They're not a religion. It's totally curable. Eat an apple and go for a walk, you know? Why are you yelling at everybody else? The fuck are you giving me shit for? All right? You put the cookies in there. I didn't. How is this my problem? Jesus Christ, you ate your way in, you can walk your way out. All right? And just slowly start shedding the pounds. Shove some fucking lettuce in there instead of a bunch of ho-hos, and it's gonna come down, and then you're on my side of the fence, right? Join me. Come on, say it with me. Shame. Shame! Right? I know, you're not supposed to shame. You're not supposed to fat shame. You're not supposed to slut shame. They're like shaming. Like people aren't supposed to walk around with any shame. It's like a legitimate human emotion, but you're not supposed to feel it at all. You know, you're supposed to just walk around like a dictator. You're not going to feel any shame. You never felt shame. You never had such a bad fucking night the next morning. You woke up, you couldn't even look yourself in the mirror. When you went to go brush your teeth, you looked up, you're like, oh, you fucking piece of shit. Wow. Wow. Even for you, that was bad. Lights out, curtains drawn until at least 2 in the afternoon before I can even look at you, you fucking piece of shit. Yeah, you're supposed to have no shame. That's the new world. You're just going to walk around sucking dick, you know, eating cookies, and just show up, and nobody's supposed to say anything. No one's supposed to have an opinion. Like, wow, that's going to go off the rails pretty soon. I know, it's probably mean to do this stuff, but, like, you can only have so much sympathy. There's so much stuff you can care about. You know what happened to me that changed my life? I did a gig in India, right? Unbelievably great people, but some of the stuff that I saw there, I'll never forget. I did a gig in India. I saw a toddler take a shit between 2 parked cars, walked away, no pants or parents, and then disappeared into the crowd like Hannibal Lecter at the end of Silence of the Lambs. It's one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen in my life. And then I come back to my country, and it's like, oh, the studio said I had to lose 15 pounds to star in a movie. Well, then start running, you fat fuck. That's your big complaint in life? You know what it is? You know what it is? You know what it is about these fatties? You know what it really is? They have no respect for the amount of sacrifice and dedication it takes to truly get in, like, magazine-level shape, which is you ever try to get abs? You ever try to get all the abs and get that shit down here? You ever try to do it? It's fucking impossible. Past the age of 19, you can't do it without tons of help. You gotta buy all these exercise tapes. You gotta read about nutrition. You gotta get a personal trainer having you fucking running along. You need, like, your own chef, and he's like, okay, don't eat it yet. Don't eat it yet. All right, now, eat it. Start consuming it. All right, stop. Slow down. Stop. Spit it out. Spit it out. I told you to stop. Get on the elliptical. Now you like that Brussels sprout? Did you like that Brussels sprout? Because now you're paying for it. It's a fucking miserable experience. Just walking around, your whole body's eating yourself. You know, you want some cake? No, just take a salad. Balsamic vinaigrette on the side, no croutons. Oh my God, when is the photo shoot? I want to kill myself. It's horrible. You ever try to get fat? No. You don't have to. It's effortless. You can fucking lay on your back, watching your favorite show, just shoveling shit down your throat. What are you doing? I'm getting fat. I'm getting fat. You got a trainer? Don't need one. It's natural. I just eat everything that makes my sugar salt go like, yeah, woo! Woo! Yeah! Comes right in. Nice roll of fucking flab. No, it's ridiculous. Like, I know nobody wants to be fat, so I'm not shit.
Baseball, no, it's not quite the way it used to be. I don't like that whole thing, like when you go to a game, if you catch a foul ball, you gotta like give it to a kid now.
What are you talking about?
That's why kids are all mushy and fat. They don't gotta work for anything.
I'll get in trouble later on in my life. Transgender athletes, I don't fucking understand that, you know? I understand it if, you know, you want to switch around. I don't give a shit. But I'm a sports fan. That's a really new concept to me, that you can be a dude, right? Ranked 80th in the fucking world. You have your dick cut off, you put on a sports bra, and now you're the #1 tennis player in the world, just coming out there with your man shoulders. That doesn't seem fair. I might be wrong. I might just be an old guy. I have no idea. But I'm hearing rumors like some of them are getting into that MMA. You can't have that shit. Am I nuts? That is a dickless dude beating the shit out of a woman. Jesus Christ. He might as well hit her with his discarded dick like a flashlight. Hold still. No, it's grounded. Her grounded pound is incredible.
If enough athletes, you're saying, use steroids.
Destroy themselves with steroids. They'll figure out how, they do it with singers. If a singer can't sing, she gets to use a steroid.
Yeah.
Right? How
So
come a football
you say
player-
it's going to improve the drugs so that we get to use them?
I'm saying by the time we're 80, they're going to have like a steroid vaporizer that you can just inhale, and you're going to have abs. I'll get a full head of hair, and you're going to be banging some hot 65-year-old. And it's all going to be because of these athletes and the sacrifices that they make that no one appreciates.
I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. How come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that? Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets! Nobody is going to women's soccer games! You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. I'm not saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, you know, but nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're gonna come and you're gonna get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit. Why are you yelling at us? It's not our fucking job. It's not my fucking job to give a fuck about women's soccer, okay? I have men's sport to pay attention to. It's your bullshit, right? Dude, look at the WNBA. Nobody in the WNBA got COVID. Nobody. They have been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a fucking league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? None of you went to the fucking games. None of you. You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on. That's it. Name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your fucking city. You can't do it.
I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden everybody stands up holding up a sign of somebody that they either know that's dying of cancer or died of it in the middle of the game. It's just like, what are you doing? No, there's a time and a place. I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan.
I don't know what the fuck. I was bitching about, NFL football. I was complaining about how, and you know how it is, Joe. The game just isn't played the way it was played when I used to watch it.
No, it's all, they play it for the cameras, not for the fans.
It's all dessert, Joe. It's like a fat kid. It's all offense. They're just sitting there fucking licking the frost in 50 to 48 fucking games, and everybody's saying, one of the most unbelievable games I've ever seen.
What do you explain that to me? Because I'm not a sports guy. What does that mean?
It'd be like
dessert?
if Fast and the Furious meets sports. That's what it is. Where it's like, yeah, the cars are cool. Vin Diesel's cool and all that, but it's just like that was probably a bad example. Like there's people who don't like baseball want to see 100 home runs a game, right? People who are into baseball, they don't mind watching a pitcher's duel.
Right.
They don't mind seeing a little hit and run. Somebody lay down a fucking bunt. Somebody who fucking hates baseball is they just want to see somebody smash it out of the fucking park. So these sports have learned that. So basketball has done it. Hockey is, I think, because of head injuries and shit. It was already fast or whatever, but they all just have gone. I think they've hit maximum density as far as they've gotten all the sports fans that they can get, and now they're trying to get the casual fan. And the casual fan, I guess, is offense. But I've talked about this too much on my own podcast, so I don't want to overlap here, Joe. We came here. What's that?
Let me ask you this though. You don't have to go down the road if you've already talked about it too much. But Mike, so I just want to make sure I understand. What you're saying is now they're training the players in baseball, for instance, go out and try to hit a fucking homer every time.
No, they juiced up the balls. They made the fucking.
Oh, okay.
That's what they did back in the day. Juiced up the balls. They let the players do juice. They looked the other fucking way and then acted surprised when half their no-necked fucking roster. Really? I thought my second baseman hitting 45 home runs was normal. No second baseman hits that many.
Right.
But in football, they just made a ton of rules that just made it really difficult as a defense to fuck people up and take control of the game physically, to fucking manhandle an offense, to intimidate the shit out of them.
Okay.
They took away all of that shit. Like, Joe, you could literally play professional football. You could take a hit as a quarterback now. I'm not saying you'd get up, but you'd at least get the penalty and a first down, and when your backup came in and they dragged your lifeless body off the fucking...
Fair enough.
No, back in the day, they'd be like, that's football, all right? But they would actually feel bad for you now. Oh, vicious, cheap shot. He tackled them with both hands. It was terrible. It was almost like he was trying to prevent them from scoring. Now, but we didn't come here to talk about this, Joe.
All right. This is one tiny sports thing I could actually say that I've actually heard, that I remembered.
What's that?
Because I remember growing up, somebody broke like Hank Aaron's home run record or some shit. And I remember one kid being like, that's amazing. And then the other kid being like, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Hitting homers now isn't the same thing as Hank Aaron hitting homers. It was harder for him to hit homers. And I never knew what it meant till right now. It's like
when Hank Aaron played, the mound was actually higher. So as far as physics go, the guy was fucking throwing the heat and he was coming down at you. Joe, you've gotten in a lot of fights in your life, arguments anyways.
Sure.
You ever go to a game or something, or a concert or something, and you watch somebody try to fight somebody from the row behind? Yeah, and one guy's punching up and the other guy's punching down. Now, unless you got 6 inches on the other guy, you're just immediately at a disadvantage. So you had all these power pitchers from back then were like they were so fucking dominant, and they got so good that then it was like they actually had to just, because they were having like 1-0 games evidently. I mean, that's before my time, the 1960s or whatever, but like Don Drysdale, Sandy Koufax were crushing it there. Was it Josh Gibson? Who was the guy? It's all before my time. I'm getting old. I can't remember the guy in the fucking Cardinals. They were just destroying guys. So they lowered the mound, and they've always done shit like that.
Did you ever hear the Jerky Boys Sandy Koufax call?
No.
It's one of the funniest calls. He's like, what the fuck is the premise of? He calls a guy to like go look at his truck or something, and because the guy's selling a truck, it's something unrelated to baseball, and he just starts talking about baseball, like that's the prank, and he's like, did you ever play any baseball? Sometimes you take a line drive straight to your fucking cock. And he keeps referencing Sandy Koufax, and he talks this guy in fucking circles. And then he's like, you got me talking about fucking Sandy Koufax over here. Totally flips it, blames it on the other guy, which is my favorite crank call.
I never heard that one.
It's so funny, man. It was on like one of the... I remember I downloaded it off the internet. It was like a fucking B-side or something. But it was like... It's my favorite when a crank caller flips it on the other guy and starts blaming him.
Oh, my favorite one was the Super across the way.
It's amazing.
When he starts yelling at that guy. And don't have me come down for you.
Yeah.
All right, Super across.
Look, jerky.
You got it, punk. And he just fucking hangs up on him.
I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know? More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then he goes, hey, you know, I'm actually thinking it's kind of wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, that blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See what they do? That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400,000 a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400,000 a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned inside. I need your help to get me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is?